Okay, so we're gonna start on this one. I'm gonna talk about like how do people afford things in the Philippines. That's gonna be the topic. And there's Harbor Point. I'm in Olongapo. There's a hospital right here, and I'm just gonna walk around and just kind of reflect on that a little bit. Let's go check out the room. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. I started to reflect it in another video, but I'm gonna talk about it more now. And over here, we're gonna try to capture whatever we can. We're selling things here. So okay, welcome to Olongapo. We're gonna go over the river in a minute. And I'm just gonna reflect on how people can afford things. Let's see what this sign says. So here's our river right here. Get into the shade a little bit. There we go. And this one says, what this country needs is not just a change of men, but a change in men. Okay. I've noticed some different messages about that as well. Okay, I'm gonna reflect about cost of things. So I'm trying to get to another town about 4 kilometers away. It's part of the same Olongapo part, but it's but they charge about $9. So I asked a foreigner, you know, like why? You know, it's like basically like, I guess to like discourage. Okay, here's some of the mountains right here. This is really nice. See all the way down. And then you can also see kind of some of the housing along the river too. But like, let's say that somebody here, you know, like how would they take a taxi to go somewhere? They don't. They just take jeepneys everywhere. So I'm gonna comment on that. So those are a lot cheaper. But you know, like if you really want to stimulate the economy, then of course you would, you know, put taxis down at a lower price range. But they don't really seem to be that interested in that. So I think it's kind of more of a mentality like, how do we get the most out of people that we possibly can? So, which is unfortunate, because then, you know, like if you move people around a lot, you could kind of interesting. But if you move people around a lot more, then you could make a lot more money, right? Like let's say that your rates were like a normal rate for this place, you know, 3 or 4 kilometers. I mean, even where I live, 3 or 4 kilometers would be about half that price, even in one of the most expensive cities, which is Macau. Like half of that would be like maybe $4 or $5, but here they want to charge about $9. So I just saw an Australian and said, oh yeah, they'll rip you off, they'll charge you like $6 or $7, which is still high. Actually, it's like nothing, but it's the idea, you know, that like why be in the Philippines and deal with you know, like you don't want to pay, you know, the prices of Hong Kong, you know, otherwise, you know, you stay in Hong Kong and get a taxi and it takes you like, you know, you can be in a taxi for 15 minutes and only pay, you know, it's like about, I can go take about three subway stations for about $3 on a taxi. But here, you know, like yeah, anyways, I'm gonna, but in short, so I'm kind of reflecting on that. So like a lot of domestic operators from the Philippines, they'll go to places like Hong Kong and Macau, and they will get a salary of about 450 American dollars a month. And that's pretty good. Oh, there's University of Philippines right there. Extension program in Olongapo. So that little white building right there is part of University of Philippines. It's kind of cool. So anyways, so there'll be like $450 to be a maid, and a lot of them will do that like 10-15 years, and they'll send like half of their salary to the Philippines, and they'll support entire families on that money, you know. So that's the big mystery, right? So if they get like $450 in American dollars, let's see what this is. Okay. So let's just say that they get that salary and they need to live a little bit in Hong Kong, you know, so they're gonna, once in a while they're gonna get some food. On a Sunday, they have a day off, so they might go out and have dinner with their friends, and they might spend like, you know, $5 or $10 on a cheap meal. So they do that, you know, I don't know, let's just say that they might spend like $100 in food a month, maybe, you know, or less, $50 for being cheap. They just have like one nice meal a week and that's it, and all the other meals they just eat rice in the house. of their employer. So they're still gonna spend like 100 American dollars, right? So you send like maybe 350 American dollars back to all of your family members. So who knows how many people are trying to live on that 350 American dollars, but some of them will support, you know, they'll have like kids and a husband who's not working and parents that are retired that aren't working. So they will have all that stuff going on and still like live under those means. But then you're a foreigner and, you know, like they say, oh, Philippines is really cheap to live, doesn't cost any money. Could go to the mall, but kind of want to go around it. There's a river walk over here, so we'll just see what that looks like in some businesses. So, okay. So then you come to the Philippines and like you know, you arrive and you're like, okay, there's no Uber, there's no way to get from A to B except for jeepneys, and they're not really that safe. So let's say that you're a Filipino who has your bags and you're traveling like I am, and you decide that you want to go 4 kilometers. And they say, okay, $9. And it's like, okay, well that means that I need to get back later, so that's $18, that's $20. And that's just for that 4 kilometer taxi, right? So it's like man, like, are you serious? Like, but if they made it like for local prices, you know, like if entire families are getting by on 250 American dollars, or actually, you know, if they are desperate to come over for 50 a month, then that means that the salaries here must be much less, like maybe $200 or $300 or $100 a month. So let's say that the salary to work in the mall here is 200 American dollars. And then the taxis are going to charge everybody $9 just to go 4 kilometers. Like, you can't, it's crazy. Anyways, I'm kind of walking around Harbor Point and just kind of reflecting on the prices like that. I don't know if I can have the camera in here, but yeah, maybe make a comment, tell me what you think about that. And yeah, I think that might be a really interesting discussion. So yeah, here I am in Olongapo, and walk around the mall a little bit and maybe simulate some interesting discussion if we can get it going.